And welcome to the 2019 IPF Classic World Championships live here in Helsingborg, Sweden, six-pack Lapidat.
Joe Whiteley.
And we have the 52 kilo open women's world championships. Obviously, as a Brit, you got to be pulling for defending. Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Defending world champion, won the 2018 in Calgary historic fashion.
She did, and she was the best lifter overall at that competition on Wilks points, so it will be interesting to see if she can do it again on IPF points.
The pride of Britain, but she's facing some stiff opposition here today.
She is. Marissa Inda is going to want to crack at the title again. She's held it before. She's going to want to take it again today.
Absolutely. It's within her grasp, and you were also pointing out to me in the field of competitors, obviously Marissa and Joy at the top, but any mistakes, the door swings open for opportunity.
Yeah, and we've got Olga Golubeva. She's nominated in third place, looking ahead at the predicted totals. She's current European champion. She's a masters lifter, but she competes in the open, which is no mean feat.
Yeah, as well as Marissa Inda. Strength knows no bounds and seems to last forever. So we're going to have a battle, no doubt, and likely coming down right to the very last deadlift.
Well, I hope so.
We can only hope. Kicking it down to platform one, and if I got an opportunity, everybody on the Olympic channel, welcome. This is the first time for the IPF to be on the Olympic channel, so very excited about that, and I think you're in for a treat.
I think it will be. I think it's going to be a great competition. I think it's going to be really exciting, and I believe this is the first competition that we have more women than men. 58% female. I
think you're right, and this flight in particular is absolutely stacked, and right from the top down, even though there's a battle at the top, positional, if you're moving up a rank, 2 ranks, 3 ranks, points get added to your nation, and it still is a team sport.
It is. It is. Everyone that wins get 12 points and then 9 points for a second. And all the team coaches are going to be looking for a team win as well as the individual wins.
And we have 105 kilo loaded on the bar for Barbara Gap of Austria.
Okay, first squat of the session. Looked a little bit wobbly on the way down, maybe just some nerves there.
There was, 3 white lights. The bar speed was good, but
she
it
definitely had the strength.
Yeah, I see the knees a little bit wobbly.
But you know, it's nerve-wracking coming out for your first squat, and also coming out for the first squat of the session.
Sometimes nerves can do that to you. And Anna, 107.5 from Brazil, I remember her back in Calgary.
Oh,
and,
really?
She had missed her first attempt, missed her second, appeared to be on strength, back against the wall, and it came out for her third attempt and fought and kept her hopes alive.
That's
to register
so hard to do. Well, let's hope she has a better day today.
Well, she's got a heart of a lion, that's for sure. Depth looks good.
Yeah, that's a nice, easy squat. She kept a tight back position. That looked lovely.
Drama-free opener for her this time. And 3 white lights. Look at that sigh of relief. Not like last time.
Yeah, big hook for coach.
No doubt at all on depth.
So we have an Irish lifter out next. Ireland's brought a massive team this year.
Well represented. I think almost in every single session that I've called, I've seen an Irish lifter.
And I've seen Jay Ferrant, head coach there, coaching on 2 platforms at once at times.
Yeah, hard working. 117.5 for Anna.
Her PB is 127.5, so this should be well within her capabilities.
And that's really what I like to see, is pick an opener that you're going to hit any day of the week, even if disaster strikes.
There we go, that was nice. Wasn't super easy, had to work a little bit for it.
Depth was there, but it definitely was a little bit more work than you might have anticipated.
Yeah. Of course, you just want that first squat to be so easy and you build confidence then.
Sometimes, because of the nerves, you sink it and maybe sink it a little deeper than you have to, and it could be a little more work than anticipated. 125 for Shishido of Australia.
So she's elected to have the racks in for her squat. Some lifters like to do this just so that the plates don't bang on the rack as they walk out.
Yep.
And of course, that's super easy to do with the new Eleiko racks.
Very tight setup, hands close to the shoulders. Able to lock the lats. And that's good.
That was lovely. That's how you want your opener to look.
Yep. No major expenditure of energy. This bar speed was perfect. It kind of is a battle of energy conservation because it's a long day. And every time a Swedish lifter hits the platform, you can anticipate this.
It's great to see so much support for the home team.
Sophia Waldemerson, 127.5.
You must be able to hear the crowd shouting for her. She's opening on her PB. That's a brave thing to do at this level.
It definitely is a brave thing to do. If the energy of the crowd can give her any kind of extra boost.
Nice and deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got no problem there. I think she needs to rack down a little bit, though. Yeah, she's just pointing at it.
There's a bit of a calf raise on and off, but nonetheless, very smooth. You're going to see those elbows down, head up, chest up, knees track over the feet. Never gets pulled out of position. Monica Dip of Canada, 132.5 kilo on the bar for her, 10 kilo below her personal best. Now, her personal best is more than likely from the Canadian Nationals only a couple months ago.
Yeah, it was quite recent, wasn't it?
It's a fairly quick turnaround, so that personal best isn't very old.
She was a little bit asymmetrical there, wasn't she? Just went down slightly to the side on the left.
Yeah, I guess we'll take a look at this side angle if possible. Yep, there's a bit of movement there. It's very close with her feet.
She was, but the weight gave her no trouble. So here's Olga. She's current European champion, has been for a couple of years.
49 years old. It should be noted, not only is she a Master 1 lifter, which are lifters within their 40s,
but she'll be an M2 next year.
Exactly, and lifting in the open, and not just an also ran a podium favorite.
Yeah, I think she's a real contender.
135 kilo opener.
I think she'll struggle if Joy and Marissa are on form today, but if they aren't, if they make any mistakes, she'll be right there.
Depth is there.
Very careful squat. That looks almost like an equipped squat to me.
Yeah, the way she loaded up, very slow and controlled descent and ascent. 3 wide lights. No question on depth, just another angle there. And I do believe, I agree in terms of the strategizing by the Russians, stay tight enough to the top two. And if anybody makes a mistake while pushing each other.
Be there to catch.
Yep. And Vargas Vilma of Ecuador, 135 on the bar for her.
These are huge openers for 52 kilo ladies.
Vargas is 39 years old, 21-year veteran of the game.
Wow.
I don't anticipate her to feel overwhelmed in the moment.
She was 4th out in Calgary last year. Another narrow stance, but a beautiful squat.
Not pulled out of position, even half an inch. Bar pass, straight up, straight down, and that is the most economical way to shift the weight.
Absolutely. The weight doesn't come forward. You don't have to fight to bring that back. You don't have to reduce the moment arm.
It's really when you see the elbows shoot back, the chest cave, that a lifter gets pulled out of position. And Alexandra Erina Tobik from Serbia, 4 years in the game, 29 years old, 135 kilo on the bar. Erina Tobik has hit 145 previously.
Now, I don't know if that was a little bit economical on depth. Yeah, that's fine, good. 2 to 1. Yeah. 2 to 1's good enough.
2 to 1's all you need. We'll have another side shot. Yeah, it looks good from the side.
Just in.
And she is on the board thus far. No major surprises. And here is former world champion looking to become once again world champion, Marissa Inda. Marissa, what?
Coached by Chad Wesley Smith.
That's right, from Juggernaut. 137.5 on the bar for her.
course, she's squatted much more than this in the past. Looking to put a nice, easy opener in.
It's going to be on the line.
Yeah.
Oh, and
2
you know
to
what?
1 against.
She's been in this position before.
I think it's the mechanics of her squat, isn't it? That very narrow foot position.
And yeah, when you're that narrow and you fold, the hips are directly below the knee, and the especially with the sides of her legs almost collapse on top of each other. Difficult to hit depth, but she's been there before, bounced back and actually won.
Yeah.
And Amanda Folks of New Zealand, 140 being loaded on the bar for her. She has hit 143 previously. It is close to her previous personal best. You do hope no one opens up too close to your limit. You want a little bit of space.
And you also don't want your lifts to be complete grinders. You don't want to use up all your energy and all your back strength. You've still got a bench and deadlifts to come.
There's only so much strength in the budget. Asking for the racks to come in. Still got plenty of time. Lifters are given 1 minute after they're told bar's loaded.
That's plenty of time normally. 60 seconds is plenty of time to make a squat, but if you have to re-rack the bar for any reason or you have any problems, then you can run out of time really quickly. So I don't like to see a lifter with a huge performance before they get under the bar.
Depth looks good from our angle. Oh! And I didn't, I just had mentioned when she's walking out, it's 3 kilo below her personal best. That's a little dicey. It's a little close to your limit.
And she's traveled a long way. There's no doubting that traveling does affect your lifting.
There's obstacles, like the travel itself takes a little out of you, but there's also time zones. And if you ever try to cut weight while traveling,
that's
it's
so
not
difficult.
easy.
Yeah.
145. Ploen Dirkers of Netherlands, which the travel, speaking of
absolutely.
friendly, much friendlier than some of the other international lifters. 145, again, 3 kilo below her personal best. This time it's smoother.
Yeah, that's fine. That's well within her.
And Ploen leaving no major questions for the judges. Take another look at this depth. Whoa, way deep.
That's the thing as well. You don't want to squat just about in. You want to put it beyond any possible doubt for the referees.
Let the refs know you don't need to scrutinize my lifts. And are you familiar with this young lady?
I certainly am. Joy Namani. I first saw her lift in Bournemouth in 2015, I think. And she's such a lovely lifter. She's got very long femurs, so she has to sit a long way back into the squat, which sometimes makes it a little bit hard to hit depth. But I think she should have no trouble with this.
145 kilo on the bar, famous for opting to never use a belt.
No knee sleeves, no belt, no wrist wraps.
Completely raw, and there it is.
See, the depth is fine there, but that's a struggle for a first squat.
Her elbows came in. When the struggle came, she brought the elbows forward so she doesn't tilt forward. And ordinarily, that's where, in terms of bracing with a belt, it feels nice, easier to keep yourself upright. But she's got a style all of her own.
She has, and she's a grinder as well. She can make a squat look hard, put 10 kilos on it, and come out and do it anyway. So that puts Joy in second place with the Dutch lifter. I know it's early to say, we're only on the first squat, but it's the Dutch lifter in the lead at the moment, Deckers.
And 110 on the bar for Barbara Gap of Austria. Now, what kind of jump would you anticipate Joy to make from there? It was work.
It certainly was. I would say 7.5.
Well, right on the money. Did you see that pop up first?
It was coming out of my mouth as it came up on the screen.
Fair play.
Nice and deep. Bit of a struggle through the sticking point.
3 wide lights, and Gap seems to be pacing herself adequately. The second squat should be work, and it was. Not quite at the breaking point.
No, I think she
jump.
can go up. She's only gone up 5 kilos first to second. I think she might do the same again.
And Paula Almeida from Brazil taking a 5-kilo jump.
Now she's looking much more relaxed now. She's got her opener in, isn't she?
All smiles now. Like, hey, now we can have fun and play.
I've got one in. I'm happy.
The Brazilians get very worked up, very fiery in there, and a little intensity can go a long way. She's hit 115. Depth is there.
I think she just made a little error right in the hole there. She paused it just about. She got one red light for depth.
Yeah, this is a total reversal of her previous worlds. Now she's having nothing but fun in the squat event, and previously nothing but stress. So enjoying
it is
the
nice
moment.
to see the lifters enjoying the lifting, because it's a stressful environment. There's no question about it.
Very
And the
much.
squat is the most stressful of all.
For sure, and 122.5. Anna from Ireland looking to put 5 kilo on her squat, and of course 5 kilo towards her total. Still 5 kilo below her personal best, anticipating this to move well, giving herself room to add the kilo onto her third and final squat. Depth looks good.
Again, just a little bit shaky on the descent, just a little bit uncertain, I think. But strength was no problem.
Yep, strength is no problem. Sometimes you'll see a lifter searching for the bottom. You don't want to search. It's got to be by feel. If you're at all uncertain, and you stay down there a little longer, you need to. It really does exhaust the resources. Shishido from Australia, 130 kilo for her.
So a very small PB.
5 kilo jump from her opener. 2.5 kilo personal best if she gets it. And how do you feel about hitting a personal best in the second attempt?
Do you know, I think if training's been going very well and you feel like you've got a lot in you on the day, I think that's perfect. You secure the PB, and then you can put a little bit on it to try and extend even further.
Well, training seems to be going good.
Yeah, do you know she's been competing for 1 year, and she's made it to the World Championships? That's incredible.
Progress is often quick in the early days, and that was smooth.
It was very nice. She didn't lose her shape. She didn't lose her form. The centre referee didn't like the depth.
From the side, it looks good, and a personal best hit. Now, Sophia Waldermerson from Sweden, the home crowd.
We've got a lot of Swedish fans in here today.
Absolutely behind Sophia, and she feels it. I feel it. The energy is definitely tangible. 132.5 for her.
Do you think that that helps the lifter, or do you think that puts them under extra pressure?
Look, at adrenaline is real. It's the ultimate stimulant, and a 5 kilo personal best if she hits it.
And I think she has.
Yeah. 3 white lights. She's so upright, and it's kind of the way her levers work, but the elbows underneath the bar, chest up, chin back, and it makes depth so much easier to hit than when you tilt forward.
It does. That very quick descent, though, is a little bit risky, because you could, you do get the stretch reflex, but you never know which direction you're coming up in.
Yeah, it's got to be controlled. 137.5.
So here's Marissa. She's taken the same weight again, which I think is the wise thing to do.
Yep, not at all surprised by that decision.
I'm not sure that's any deeper.
It's on the line. It's on the line.
No.
And this time it's 3. So
she's really under pressure now.
With 3 reds, just for anyone listening, you can't go to the jury. If you have 1 red, you can go to the jury to get a second opinion. Not an option here. Unfortunately, if she doesn't hit her next squat, she will be unable to register an official total, which is very surprising.
Huge pressure on her now. This isn't where she wanted to be. The game plan is in the bin. This isn't even plan B, this is plan C.
Olga looking to add 5 kilo from her opener, 5 kilo onto her total, and sensing an opportunity.
Yeah, and this is a 5 kilo PB for her. 49 years old, still putting weight on her lifts, been competing for 19 years.
Consistency pays off.
She competes both raw and single ply equipped, and I think that shows in her squat really. It does look quite a lot like an equipped squat.
I'm going to have to agree. Almost like you're loading the squat suit.
Yep.
3 white lights.
Certainly works for her.
Olga very calculating. take out slow, but the depth is not in question. And building up momentum, 2 for 2. 140, Monica Dip of Canada. 2.5 kilo below her personal best. Depending how she hits this, perhaps she equals her personal best, perhaps she likes to surpass it.
I think you can't judge the, look at that narrow stance. I think you can't judge what the third's going to be until you see what the second looks like.
I agree. Well, now that we did see it,
I
what
think
are your
5
thoughts?
kilos,
Yeah, I think so too.
She looks very happy off the platform there.
As she should be.
Yeah.
It is the best indicator. Look, you come in with the best laid plans until the weight starts getting shifted. That's really the ultimate indicator of where your limit is. And 140 on the bar.
So she missed this on her first attempt. It was strength, wasn't it? She didn't bring it up.
Amanda Folks, yeah, it looked like it. If there's any kind of perhaps pulled out of position and she could pull herself back in, sometimes it's strength. Hopefully not.
I didn't see any technical errors, but sometimes
you could only
they're so tiny that they're not really visible.
And sometimes a little inspiration, a little motivation, it could go a long way. She wasn't this riled up for the first time around.
Careful into the hole, and there she goes.
Moved much better.
Yep.
Was it deep enough?
Oh.
And I had to ask the question only because it was right on the line. Let's take another shot.
Inside.
It's right on that line. I mean, it's close. One of the judges gave it. The other two said no.
Yeah, I would have said from the replay that it looked just in, but the different side referees see different things.
And oftentimes, if you lose a squat on strength, the next time around, you're a little shy going that deep. 142.5. Someone who is not shy is Vargas Vilma of Ecuador. Hit 135. No question on her depth. Nice.
And it's a bit of a struggle.
Yep.
I mean, it was never in any doubt. It was a lovely squat. Her form didn't break down. She kept her back tight. But how much more has she got?
Well, we are 2.5 kilo away from her all-time personal best, and I would be shocked if they go more than 2.5 kilo.
Yeah.
That's the smallest incremental jump you could take, and I think they're going to opt to take it. Alexandra from Serbia.
She's put 10 kilos on her opening squat. She's going to match her PB with this.
29 years old.
Very upright, very controlled.
Yeah, I was about to say.
No.
And here's the, so if you like a controlled descent, that's fine. However, when you're going that slow, the judges can scrutinize how deep you are.
Yeah. And you don't get that little dip at the bottom when you're so slow.
If you get in, get out, and they're unsure, they'll usually get the benefit of the doubt.
Now here's the Dutch lifter, Dekkers. She's having a great day.
Dekkers had hit 145, opting to move up 5 kilo to 150. Her best previously is 148, which looks like it's a record back home.
Yeah.
Personal best territory now, 25 years old.
Certainly deep enough.
Dynamic squatting, and that's
Fantastic.
3 white lights.
So provisionally, we've still got Joe Namani to lift, but provisionally, she's in gold medal position on squat.
And as we close in on the final second attempts, Joy's 145, we both agreed, looked like a little more work than we had anticipated.
It did. So there we have Paul Marsh just removing the lollipop as she comes out.
152.5 is a 7 kilo jump, which is sizable, not only for the 52 kilo class, but considering the work that was put in for the opener.
But she squatted 160 in Reykjavik in January this year. I think she's capable of it.
Perhaps the opener just woke her up a little bit, turned on the nervous system. Depth
I
looks
think
good.
she's got depth and she's grinding through it. She's pushing.
Oh, wow.
Told you she was a grinder.
Yeah,
That's a
she
big
lives
smile
up.
at the top there.
You know, I remember in Calgary on her final squat, she was grinding so heavily, fighting for that, and the spotters got nervous, came
And
in
they took it.
a little early, and she retook it. And I remember thinking, well, there's no way she's going to have the energy. And she dug
And she
deep,
got it.
hit it once again. No limit to Joy's energy supplies when it comes to grinding.
It is a risk, though, if the bar stalls, because the spotters want to keep you safe. They're not trying to take the lift away from you, but they don't want you to fall and injure yourself.
And 112.5 on the bar for Barbara Gap of Austria.
Okay, so just starting the third round of squats, and Joy she's not taking another squat.
And yeah, if you think that's your upper limit, and you think grinding out, chasing another couple kilo to empty the tank for 2 kilo isn't worth it, makes sense.
Saving yourself for that. Oh, that was a struggle, wasn't it?
I think her foot might have even slid on her. If we have a replay, we'll see. But it was coming up.
I thought she had it.
Her left foot.
Oh, it does.
And
I think it was the knee caving in, brought the side of the foot up.
Once that happened, it's you know, it's
game
better.
over. Yeah.
And Ana Paula Almeida from Brazil.
Oh, she's having a great time today.
117.5, 2.5 kilo personal best attempt. Looking to go 3 for 3.
So we haven't challenged the world record in the squat this time. That's 156.5. I think it's Susie Hartwig-Gary.
I know she had held it previously. Not sure if she's the current. Bit of a pause in the bottom, but you know, it's almost like, so she paused for a second and she knew, just
that's a shame. Let's see the replay.
Yeah, let's see the replay.
I was going to be very impressed if she'd paused her final squat.
Although this angle's the angle that passed. Yeah, so it looks good from there, but that's the judge that gave it to her. Can't see the other side, but great fight nonetheless. 225. Anna is taking a 2.5 kilo jump and 2.5 kilo shy of her personal best. Looking to go 3 for 3. And sometimes in the World Championships, there's going for personal best and then there's adding kilos to the total.
Yeah, it's not just about the numbers that you want to hit. It's about jockeying for position. Maybe you want to catch the person in front. Maybe you want to keep the person behind you. Just protect your ranking. Good depth. Oh, it stopped. It was going so well.
It looked like she might pull through that sticking point, but just a bit too much. You see here the knees slightly start coming in and lost her stability and foundation. Now 132.5. Shishido of Australia.
She's already in PB territory.
Shishido took 130 in her second attempt, 2.5 kilo jump. We haven't seen anybody actually successfully hit their third attempt squat yet. Can she be the first?
Very conservative walkout, not losing any energy there at all.
Depth looks good. Very smooth control.
Yeah, that's a well-judged third attempt, I think.
3 white lights, right on the money for attempt selection by Team Australia. And she keeps a tight core, you're going to see in this replay, through the sticking point and able to fight through it.
That just gives her the drive to push through when it gets hard.
Now, if you hear the crowd, that's because Sweden's own Sophia will be taking a, a 2.5 kilo jump. Vadmarsson is looking to go 3 for 3.
She had to work a little for a second, I think.
I think it's an appropriate jump.
And it's going.
Wow, that almost
fantastic.
moved better than the second.
Yeah, it did. I think if she'd made her second look like that, she would have taken a 5 kilo jump.
Gotta agree, 20/20 hindsight.
Okay, so now we have Marissa Inder.
Now, this is a little shocking. Marisa is a former world champion, and she's been in this position before.
And we really thought she'd be fighting Joe Nimani for the title today.
Still might be 137.5. If she hits this, she's right back in the hunt. Depth is way better.
Definitely,
way better.
I think she's got it.
Oh,
That's such a relief.
3 white lights. And if you like drama,
Fantastic.
that's Chad Wesley, not just her coach, but also her boyfriend. And I'm sure he's finally.
And the relief on his face.
Yeah, the relief on all of Team USA. Their hopes lie on Inda. She is a great bench presser, really good puller, and can really get back on track. Now 140, similar proposition for Amanda from New Zealand. Fultz missed 140, tried again, missed again.
On the first attempt, she didn't stand up with it. On the second attempt, she didn't hit depth.
She just needs the confidence to dip a stitch lower. 140 the second time around. It wasn't extremely high.
She looks fierce, focused. She needs to line it all up, get her technique perfect, hit it hard.
And trust that it's there if she needs it. Yeah! She has to go deep enough, and that's where it's difficult. When you miss the weight, to have the confidence to dip deep into the hole to regulation depth.
I think she might have it, you know.
It's borderline. I'm
Fingers crossed.
Not sure. No. You know, I want to be optimistic there. Let's take another shot.
That's such a shame. No one wants to see someone go home without a total.
Yeah, you know what? That was close.
I think it was close.
Yeah. 145 for Olga, taking a 5-kilo jump, and this is 10 kilo over her personal best.
Yeah, and I think Marissa Inder only getting 1 squat in. I think that's really opened the door for Olga now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a battle. Although, if history can repeat itself, I believe Marissa Inder went only 1 for 3 in squats the year she won the world title.
Really?
History could repeat itself. The show is not over yet. Olga looks a little unsteady on the walkout, although she likes a slow pace. Depth looks good.
And it was slow but steady.
You know, all 3 of her squats look the same.
They did.
2 is all you need. Literally looking like she could keep that pace no matter how much weight you put on the bar.
So she's in bronze medal position at the moment. We've still got 4 squats to go.
And Vargas Vilma of Ecuador, 145 kilo on the bar for her. She hit 142.5. This will match her personal best.
It won't move her up because she's slightly heavier than the Russian.
Now 142.5 would definitely work. We've seen the elbow have to come forward to keep herself upright. Let's see if there's another 2.5. Depth is.
She's got the strength.
Depth is on the line. It moved quicker, but did it move quicker because it was higher?
Oh, it did.
And let's take a look if we do have another angle. It was right on that line.
Yeah.
And Monica Dip from Canada, 145, 5-kilo jump, 2.5 kilo personal best. Should she hit it? Looking to go 3 for 3, and it's been a little untidy in the squat event. Still anybody's game.
Yeah, we have 2 lifters coming out for 145. They can't move up as they're all heavier than the Russian. But obviously it's about putting kilos on your total at this point. I'm not sure about depth. She was very narrow.
They're not going to love the depth.
No. That's a shame because she was certainly strong enough.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes when you walk it out, if it feels heavy, it can take a little bit of your confidence and self-preservation kicks in, and you go just a stitch too high. Alexandra Erina Tobik.
She missed this
Serbia.
last time.
Looking to come back and hit 145 that she missed in her second. Slow descent.
Keeps the shape.
Yeah, she definitely looks strong for it. It's around there.
And another one on depth.
2-1, and it goes against her. Let's take a see. This is the angle that was passed, though. I believe the judge who had the same view as our replay gave it to her, so
Yeah,
can't
he
really
did.
can't really see what the other judges had seen. But and Dekkers from Netherlands, 152.5, looking to swap her silver for squats
Yeah.
for gold.
I mean, this is a great result for her already, but looking to take the gold from Joy.
It'd be
And
quite
she's
the
looked
feat.
strong, hasn't she?
She's looked good. It's only a 2.5 kilo jump. Certainly not a big reach. Is 2.5 kilo asking 2.5 kilo too much? Depth
She's
is
got
there.
the depth. Can she stand up?
Whoa.
Fantastic. I think that's a gold medal.
I believe
for
so.
Dekkers.
And as soon as you saw those knees force out, you knew she was going to stand up with it. She did everything right. And now squat gold medal
Wow, no, that was unexpected.
for Dekkers. Yeah, you know, you got to expect the unexpected. Who would have thought Joey would come out, struggle, and opt? You know what? I think two squats is enough.
I think she was right to do so.
I do think she was right to do so. It was just mildly unexpected.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, Inda missing her first two.
Missing her first two.
Finally hitting it on her third. If we can't say it enough, you could see the nominations, you could see the projected. You got to throw them all right out the window because anything can happen.
Absolutely.
So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a 20-minute break, kick back up with the bench press event. You don't want to miss anything. And welcome back to the 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships, live from Helsingborg, Sweden. Six-pack Lapidat.
Joe Whiteley.
And we promised some action in the 52 kilo.
And we've had drama.
And they produced the two top favorites, Joy Namani taking her opener. It was tougher than we expected. Took her second.
And it was a grinder.
A very big grinder. Opted not to come out for a third.
And I think that was the right move.
And then Inda, missing her first, missing her second. Wowzers, hitting her third with the last possible squat.
And she sank it.
She sunk it. And the battle is on, but not exactly the beginning we had anticipated.
So, here we go for bench press. We have Barbara Gap.
55 kilo on the bar for Barbara.
Nice, careful descent.
Yep.
No problem at all.
And this is what I would like to see for all the openers here.
Yes.
I get it. The drama when someone misses and the back to the wall comeback, it's great viewing. I had a chance to talk to Chad Wesley Smith, who is in this coach, and he said, I'm glad you guys like the drama and the excitement, but it's a little much for me.
And it takes a lot of energy out of the lifter. It takes a lot of energy failing and the emotional energy of having to go out for a third squat with nothing on the board.
Cortisol levels running high. 62.5 for Ana Paula Almeida of Brazil. And Anna knows all too well about having your back to the wall and having to pull it out of the fire.
And we saw the relief come off her when she got her first squat today.
She's a fighter if she needs it. Easy.
Yeah, no problem at all. This is how your opener should be.
Yep. Yep, 100%. And even in terms of when it comes to energy management and you're approaching your openers, if you're throwing everything you got in terms of intensity on your openers, 9 lifts of that intense,
You've got
maintaining
nowhere
it,
to go.
yeah, it's hard to maintain.
Yeah.
It's a long day. 65 kilo, Amanda Folks of New Zealand. You think I'm taking the last name right?
Folks, yeah,
Folks,
that's how I'd say
okay.
it. So
2 to
maybe
1.
we're both getting it wrong.
Nice little shot of the Alico bench. I just want to say something. They keep designing and improving every year, and they've added a new feature in terms of the grip on the bench. You see how much the setup, intricate, and you won't lose your setup because it grips the singlet, the shirt, whatever you happen to be wearing.
That's a great opener for Amanda.
Up,
But yes,
down.
we've both competed this week on that bench.
Yeah.
And I'm a lifter who my shoulders do slide about a little bit on my bench press. But with that grippy patch on the bench now, going nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. And depending on how much of an arch you use, even if you don't use an arch, movement and shifting while in the middle of pressing is terrible for you. Shishido from Australia, 67.5 on the bar for her.
Opening on her PB.
It's dicey. However, she's been competing 1 year, and the gains, early goings.
Yeah, she'll be putting lots of weight on her lifts.
Just a quick mention. In terms of the rule set for the bench, you need your butt on the bench, your feet flat, shoulders on the bench, and your head on the bench. Anything in terms of those points of contact come up, you're going to lose and fail your bench.
Yeah. But that was very easy. Training's obviously been going very well for her.
3 white lights. And Monica Dip, 72.5 on the opener for her. She's hit 75 kilo. It's 2.5 kilo with her best, but we've seen in the squats surpassing her best. So.
Yeah, she has. She missed her third, but her first 2 squats were very impressive. I believe it's her first international. And of course, it's a nerve-wracking thing to walk out on this. It's the toughest platform in the world.
Look at that setup.
I think she needs to be careful of her heels coming up.
Yeah, see that right heel? Oh, right heel went back down. I don't think
Yeah.
she'll get flagged for it.
No.
Nope. And you'll notice, so let's talk about that setup a second, because a lot of people want to understand why the shoulders underneath the touch point. If your arm is a lever, the shoulder's the fulcrum of the lever, touch point is just below the chest. Tucking your shoulders, which is the fulcrum, under the touch point gives you a lot more pressing leverage, as well as a lot friendlier on the shoulders.
It certainly does, and it brings the chest up, making it slightly more into a decline motion and reduces the range of motion.
And there's always that, the reduction of range of motion.
See, she's got a lovely big arch there, hasn't she?
Yep.
Very
Nicely
nice.
done. Yeah. Anna picks up 3 white lights for 72.5, and the Irish in the crowd enjoy the show. There is, unlike the other 2 lifts, 3 commands for the bench press. In
I
the
think
squat,
the most technical of the lifts, the bench.
by far the most technical because of the setup, because of the amount of commands, and it's the easiest to fail. Also, on top of, as if there needs to be more, the drop-off comes sudden. 2.5 kilo is a
It
big
does.
jump.
When you run out of shoulders, you run out of them very quickly. There's small muscle groups being used.
And the smallest increment you could jump up in powerlifting is 2.5 kilo, regardless of the event.
And for small ladies, that's quite a lot.
You know,
quite a big proportion of body weight.
Yeah, proportion of body weight, proportion to the weight already on the bar. 2.5 kilo, it's still big. And
here's Deckers. She took the gold medal in squat, but she jumped that command, didn't she?
77.5. It's going to be close. Yeah.
She jumped it.
Just a little overzealous. The actual pressing itself in terms of the weight looked
Yeah,
good.
the weight was easy, but she needs to wait for that command. As you say, 3 commands on the bench. Start, press, and rack.
Yeah, so in terms of why you get the start, they want to see all those points of contact already listed, as well as the elbows, arms locked straight. Then you get the start command. When it goes to the chest, they want to see no movement. There's not a certain time period if it takes 5 seconds for no movement, or if it takes half a second, but no movement on the chest, then you get the press command. And then once the bar is all the way up, elbows locked, you get the rack. Vargas easily
Very
taking
nice.
77.5.
So there's a myth that the referee wants it to pause on the chest. They really don't. They just want to see it still and steady.
Yeah, just make it motionless.
And sometimes I think a very quick descent, you get a longer press command because the referee's not quite ready for it.
I agree. I've seen people slow, controlled, but obviously once it hits the chest, there's no movement, and it's a very quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Now, Alexandra, 80 kilo on the bar for her, 5 kilo below her personal best, representing Serbia. Oh, nicely done.
Yeah, very nice.
And that's how I would like to see these openers go.
Some great benching here today. And here's Joy.
Joy Namani. Now, she isn't the biggest presser, and it's almost the double-edged sword when you have those long arms, which are amazing for deadlifting. They hurt you on the bench because it's a long way up.
Well, powerlifting, it's a game of 3 parts, isn't it? As you say, the body mechanics that suit the squat or the bench may not suit the deadlift.
Opening 82.5, personal best 85.
She's just taking a moment to explain to the handoff man exactly what she wants.
If Joy feels the pressure, she never shows it. Always full smiles.
Yeah.
And she's a fighter, not at all unfamiliar
She's
with
not
grinding.
a quitter. Okay, slow off the chest once it got going though.
3 white lights, and Joy Namani
And you
is on the
see
board.
Coach Paul Marsh there is ready with a paperback book and a lollipop.
Yeah, and we talked about energy conservation. She goes back, decelerates, brings the intensity levels down.
Yeah, she's got a huge fan with her. She's keeping cool in the back there.
Olga taking 90 kilo, and this is an event where she can actually put some kilo onto her total and close the gap a little bit on the top 2 in terms of the
I think
projected.
she's really going to challenge Marissa Inda anyway. I think Marissa has opened the door, only getting her first lift in.
We can anticipate a bit of conversation here in terms of the rack height, perhaps. She's going anyway.
Yeah, we're down
27
to
seconds.
Yeah, that used up a lot of time. I'm not sure that was the best move from her coach.
Her wrist wrap is touching the bar. Okay, now it's not.
And again, that looked almost like an equipped bench. And
3 white lights. Yeah, my Russian is not
Probably
up to
better than mine.
Well, that won't be saying much, but it's not enough to translate what's going on there. It proves to be academic. She gets her opener, and here we are, Marissa Inda. Hopefully, a little less exciting
Yeah, let's hope she gets this one in.
She is a hell of a bencher. 95 kilo on the bar. She's gone as high as 98.
So she's close to her PB. Self handout, no wrist wraps. And no problem at all.
Yeah, very solid. The bar never slows, and it's always controlled. That's how you're going to keep the tension on.
And here we have the hometown girl.
Hometown girl, and look at her dancing on the side. Yep, she's in the moment, living it.
Fired up, isn't she?
97.5, and if
That's
she hits this,
huge opener.
you gotta think she's a medal favorite in the bench press event. The home crowd would love to see it. First, we need 97.5 on the board.
I don't think that bar's going to travel very far.
Don't blink. Yoink, yoink.
So easy.
Yep. And three
Very
white lights.
impressive.
You know, we'll have to see where Inda goes, but 97.5, it's not going to take a whole lot more than that to secure possibly a
No.
gold, definitely a podium.
I mean, we could be seeing a situation here where the favourites don't get gold in squat, don't get gold in bench.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if Joy doesn't get gold in deads, but
Well, yes.
you stopped yourself there.
She's hard to beat
Let's
on
not talk
deadlift, isn't
crazy.
she?
Gap, 60 kilo on the bar from Austria, 5 kilo jump, decent jump for this weight class.
Yeah.
But once you get your opener, you're invited to the party and you can start dancing.
Well, we only saw one girl miss her opener, and that was on commands, and her strength was absolutely there.
Quick conversation about that. When you miss your opener, do you ever go up regardless?
I have once in my squat. I had to stay in the competition, so I went up anyway. But honestly, it was nerve-wracking.
This is a heck of a scrap
Wow, it was a grind.
for a second attempt. I'm thinking she'll get it, but might be all she wrote. Nope.
No, blue card. So
Blue
downward
card.
movement of the bar there. Yeah, I've only did it that one time. I missed my opener on squat. I kind of, the bar dipped a little bit. And in order to stay in the competition, it was either go up or go home.
Ah, and when you mean stay in, you mean in
I
medal
mean,
hunt?
Yes,
Ah,
to
well,
fight for the win.
All
Yeah,
or nothing, going out on your shield.
absolutely.
And here is Paula Almeida from Brazil, 65 kilo. 2.5 kilo jump, 2.5 kilo below her personal best, leaving herself some room to grow.
Setting a really tight upper back as she lay down on the bench there.
Yep. And you see what Joe was speaking of. When you want to transition it almost to a decline press, shoulders in the proper position to maximize that pressing power. Wow.
Nice bit of leg drive. Hopefully the butt stayed down. It did. She's delighted.
Yeah, and I tell you what, 2.5 kilo looks like a fairly sure bet.
Yeah, I would think so.
I think she should go 5.5 kilo. You're starting to play with gambling a little. And 67.5, Amanda Fulks of New Zealand.
So she's only gone up 2.5.
Personal best is 70, so perhaps pacing yourself to match that.
Yeah.
Unless she absolutely makes this fly. Sometimes a coach will say, if you want 2.5, it's there. If you want 5, convince
Yes.
me. Convince me. Make this move. Does Amanda have it?
Shaky arms, but strong enough.
You know what? I'm thinking 2.5 myself.
Yeah.
3 white lights. I see the arm shake. It can mean different things for different people. Sometimes nervous system's turning on. But for me, I'm thinking 2.5.
I think in that case, 2.5 will be the right move.
Shishido from Australia, 70 kilo, going up 2.5 kilo from her opener.
And this will be a PB.
Bench training has gone well, one could assume. Well, there's a bit of a sticking point. She goes through it.
There was. She got 1 yellow card. I'm looking over to the referee.
Maybe butt.
Yeah, he's saying the butt came up.
Butt came up. And I'm thinking probably 2.5 there for her if she's already getting 1 red.
Yeah.
And 75 kilo, Anna from Ireland.
It is always a risk with leg drive, though, isn't it? If you just give it too much of a pop.
That's the dicey proposition. The leg drive's nice. Some people opt to bring their feet back. It mitigates the leg drive, but it really solidifies you so your butt doesn't move at all. But leg drive's a benefit as well. Anna has hit 78.5, an Irish national record. We're below that, and this should move.
Yeah, that moves nicely.
Quite nice. What are you thinking? 2.5 or 5 kilo jump for her?
Well, I think I would have liked to have seen her take 77 for a second attempt. I mean, it's too late for that.
Yeah, the strategy there. We do have the benefit of 20/20
We
hindsight.
do. It's very easy from this chair, isn't it?
Yep. And 77.5, speaking of Deckers
Yeah,
of
she's
Netherlands.
taken the same weight again, even though it was super easy.
And I will second that strategy.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think, judging by how easily she took it,
It was a very easy press.
she jumped the command, but not because she was under pressure to get it off her chest. Just a little excited.
It
There
was a
you
little
go.
bit harder this time.
A little speed wobble, but 2-1.
I wonder if the butt came up on that one as well. No, what I'm seeing from the referee is, I did actually wonder about this. When she got the start command, she then raised her butt and set up again. So she got a red card from the side referee for that.
And you can, you might notice, so the butt can be off. Once you get the start command, the points of contact listed earlier have to remain until you get the rack command, and then you can move.
No change in elected position once you've got the start command.
And Monica Dip of Canada opting for a 77.5 as well. 5 kilo jump. We thought so.
Yeah, I think she's good for it.
Just needs to watch that right foot. It's there.
Yeah, and I think she's got a little bit more.
I would say 2.5 kilos should be there on the table for her. Pacing herself well for a good 3 for 3, covering a little ground. And Vargas Vilma of Ecuador, 82.5. 5 kilo jump from her opener. 39 years old, 21 years in the game. Some of these ladies are 21.
That's a long time. And of course, that does help with the bench press. It's one of the lifts that its time under the bar is a big factor, especially for women. It takes a long time to build that musculature.
82.5 kilo.
Oh,
but
what's a
moves.
struggle? Not sure quite how much more she got. I wouldn't put more than 2.5 on that.
Yeah, it's the smallest jump you could do, and I think any more than that, and you're really gambling.
So different lifters struggle in different parts of the press. That looked like she struggles to get it off the chest, and once it's off the chest, drives it home very well.
Joy Namani, the joy of Britain, hands
She
over
really
her,
is.
walks up with the fan until the last second, and she's got a lot of fans.
She has.
See what I did there?
I did.
2.5
I was trying
kilo
to gloss over it, but you know.
for my own good. For my own good. 2.5 kilo loaded from her opener, and this is
Yeah,
actually
it wasn't hard. She had a little bit she had to work to get it off the chest, but once it was moving, it moved very nicely.
She has hit 85 before, but it was her personal best.
And again, we saw that struggle to get it off the chest, but
Once it starts flaunting a little bit of mobility there, Slinky's out of that position and immediately starts reading her book with the fan in hand.
that's her thing. Everyone reacts differently. She just wants to close off, get a lollipop plugged in.
It's actually become part of
Part of her ritual, yeah.
part of her ritual and
Yeah.
part of her character, if you will. 85 kilo for Alexandra. The Serbian hit 80 kilo winner opener, 5 kilo jump. This will match her previous personal best.
Did she jump it?
It's close, but it moved very well. It's hard to tell. It was.
Yeah, the centre referee who gave the command spotted that she
knows.
jumped it.
Other
Yeah.
two refs were like, that's too close for me to tell. And there you go. 5 more
We
kilos.
say in that case that she went on the pee of the press.
Olga from Russia,
Oh,
95.
We can see Adam Riley there, Red Light Riley from the UK, just bringing her back. She was approaching the bar a little bit too early.
Red Light Riley.
Red Light Riley, there he
That's
is.
an intimidating name for a judge,
It really
for a
is.
ref.
Do you know he's a very fair referee? We call him Red Light.
Yeah, well, it rhymes with Riley, so
Yeah.
shoe fits, kick it. And Olga looking for 5 more kilo, and this is really going to help her campaign to get on the podium. Looking more and more like a podium favorite, but with
She
love.
is, yeah. I mean, she was a favourite for getting on the podium for me anyway, because she's been a European champion 2 years running.
But would love to get on the podium and swap a possible bronze for silver if given the chance.
Oh no, that's not quite going. You know, I thought she was just a little bit tentative on the descent. You can use up a lot of energy with that slow descent.
It seems, I mean, she likes to conserve energy, okay? She leaves the platform on her own pace. It's kind of the way she lifts. All of her descents are a
Yeah.
little like that. But you're right. There is a case of under max load, how long do you want to tempo that? Now, Inda,
Now her
Marisa,
opener looked very easy, didn't it?
Marisa, this would be a personal best, 100 kilo, but the way 95 kilo moved. And she has a lot of the same mental approach as you do in terms of the all or nothing. Look, I got to cover some kilo on my shield.
No, it's not going. She's not having a great day. But you know, I think she only arrived yesterday or the day before. She's come from, is it the west coast of America?
She is enjoying the West Coast Cali, and you know what? That
It's
is several
west-
time zones.
It is, and west to east is the hardest way to go. It's the jet lag is the hardest. So here we are, Swedish hometown girl,
Sophia
Valdemarsson.
Valdemarsson will take 102.5 and is in the lead and well in the lead at this point in the bench press, standing alone for the gold thus far, and all of
And
Sweden.
I think the roof will come off if she gets the gold.
Look at these people nudging each other like, oh my God, you see that? The Swedes are a vocal bunch, especially when they got their lifter in there. Beautiful setup. Whoa. No doubt, might have been.
So easy.
That was an opener for her.
It really was. I wonder where she'll go from there.
I spotted Alexander Eriksson, 74 kilo junior world champion, first year in the Open, and he will also represent Sweden in a great battle. You want to tune in, I believe that's 2 days from now.
Okay.
And Barbara Gap of Austria, looking to bridge the gap, could use 5 kilo to do so. Missed 60
She
on her
did.
second. Retaking that. "38 years old, powerlifting competitively for 2 years.
Careful light touch.
Whoa.
That looked good to me.
Look good to me. See what the judges say.
Coach punches the air,
And there you
she's
go.
got it. Fantastic.
With a lift as technical as the bench press, small adjustments, correcting small errors, and the weight moves for you. Paula Almeida from Brazil.
Now I think she had a little bit of a fight with her second.
But she is a fighter. However, bench is one of those lifts. It's tough to grind
You
out.
can't always grind through it.
It's tough to just in terms of the dynamics of it. Squat, okay. Deadlifts,
Well, you have big muscles driving the squat.
deadlifts, sure. Bench press, but if there's an opportunity, there's no lack of fight in her. Whoa, and did I promise a fight?
Got it off the chest, but it just wouldn't quite go.
Yeah, just a stitch shy from lockout. And a stitch too much.
Okay, we have the Kiwi out next, Amanda Folks.
And this will match her personal best. We thought that was probably an appropriate
Yeah.
jump.
I think it's probably doable.
Well, if history is the best indicator of the future, she's hit it previously. However, as we've seen, every day brings a new challenge.
And it's a tough platform. She's travelled a long way.
Nice setup. And despite the travel, there's a lot of Kiwis in the crowd.
There are. There's a huge number of Australian lifters too. We've got quite a contingent from Nauru.
Yep, Oceania. Nicely done.
Very nice. I thought she just dropped that at the bottom of the descent, but clearly kept hold of it, managed to drive it back home.
3 white lights, and I think the attempt selection was right on the money
I
there.
think so.
Talk about getting the most out of your lifter, and that's really the name of the game. It's not about personal best. It's about what's there today.
Yeah, absolutely. What can you do today?
Shishido of Australia, 72.5 loaded on the bar for her. 2.5 kilo jump from her second attempt. Looking to go 3 for 3. Planting those shoulders in traps and then grabbing a hold of the bar to really keep it in place. We are well into uncharted territory in terms of what she's hit previously. Whoa, nicely done.
Yeah, I think she got it. 3 white lights, fantastic. Pleased with that.
Nice attempt selection.
5 kilo PB on bench is a great achievement.
Yeah, and when you see the bench slow and stall and then get locked out, you know, in terms of the coaching staff, they really dialed in the attempt selection. 80 kilo for Deckers. She hit 77.5 in her second go at it.
Yeah, she actually smoked it on her first attempt, but jumped the press command. It didn't look as easy on her second, but I'm surprised they've only gone up 2.5.
Well, she's hit this before, and
the coaches know her better than I do, for sure.
Hit it before, and 2.5 kilos still an increase that you can use towards your total. Tight races, that can be all you need.
And I think the coaches were right on that one.
Yeah, and sometimes you see it in the warm-up room. You're like, look, I know you hit before.
Yeah.
We might be, and I know what you want to hit. We might be on pace for 80 kilo, and she was. Manica Dip, speaking of 80 kilo, will also take a run at it.
You know, it's disappointing as a lifter if the coach says, look, I want to drop your opener. You know, I don't think it's quite there today. You've got all these plans in mind, but you really have to trust them. And they've seen it all before.
And you know, you got to be careful with not to get into a lifter's head on how you word it, but sometimes it's like, look, I want to conserve energy, kill the opener, convince me it's fast. We're right back on pace if you want. 80 kilo, Monica Dip, pay attention to that right heel.
That's a nice third attempt, I think.
And it's good.
Yeah, I wonder what the centre referee saw there. We were a bit concerned about her heel coming up, weren't we? And I think that's when your foot is turned out a very long way. It's hard to keep it flat.
3 for 3 nonetheless, picking up some kilo. Anna would like 80 kilo. This is a 5 kilo jump for her. It's a decent jump in the 52 kilo class in the bench press event. It is also a 2.5 kilo personal best for the 26-year-old from Ireland.
And I think this is what you were talking about, because she went up 2.5 kilos from her opener and now she's gone up 5. So she must have convinced her coach she was good for it. Let's hope she was right.
Whoa.
And she's fighting, it's moving.
It paused, I don't think it went up down.
I've seen the celebration from the coach. He's delighted.
White lights, and hey.
Fantastic.
If she told her coach, trust me, the coach was like, all right, all right.
She didn't leave a gram behind there, did she?
Not a look at it. If a snowflake fell on there, it might have been too much. 85 kilo for Vargas Vilma, and that's a 2.5 kilo jump, 2.5 kilo personal best after 21 years in the game. Oh, it's slow. I think it.
No, not going anywhere.
I think for a second there it went down up, and no sense continuing to fight once you see that, because it's not going to pass.
Okay, here's Joy.
2.5 kilo jump. I think it's the right call. It'll still be a 2.5 kilo personal best.
I think if she can get it moving, she can do it.
Yeah, it seems to be the sticking point for Joy is off the chest.
Yep. She always looks so calm, doesn't she?
Well, if she's overcome by the moment, she's got a heck of a poker face, put it that way. And I like how she goes over the unrack. Look at her smiling. You guys understand me, right? He gets it. He gets it.
And it's worth doing. Some lifters come out and say same again, but they've given so many handouts.
Yeah, same again. What is that, right? I
Yeah.
recognize your face, not your handoff.
We just saw Coach Paul Marsh there. It's Joy's coach from Commando Temple Gym in London. And she's got it moving. That's a perfectly judged third attempt. Fantastic.
Look at slow off the chest, but once it gets going, she's got it.
I think she squeezed out everything she could from bench press there.
Yeah, you know what? The attempt selection for Joy, I like the idea of not coming out for the third squat.
Yeah.
Would have been a grinder. I like the pacing she has on bench. They're getting the most out of Joy, and that's how she's going to pull out the win.
Well, it's a great advantage if you can have your own coach with you on the day. He knows you, he knows your lifting.
Alexandra from Serbia, 90 kilo for her final attempt, 5 kilo jump. That's the type of jump she likes. Took 5 kilo to her second. Ooh, just a stitch too much.
It looked very confident. She kept her chest up, but just too heavy.
And Olga.
So we have 3 benches left. I think Olga has got the bronze in bench.
And looking ahead, now, if you know Olga, okay, the bronze in bench, thank you very much, but I have a bigger plan in play.
Yeah, I think she has.
And she's hoping to threaten Inda on the podium and possibly snag a silver. Looking more and more confident to be on the podium. What color is her medal going to be yet to be decided? 5 kilo is really going to help.
It's all about just putting as much as you can onto your total now. And it's going, it's moving. What do the referees say?
3 white lights.
Fantastic.
The house improvement, she really is, you know.
Yeah, that's a PB for Olga.
Calculating and at 49 hitting personal bests. You gotta like her consistency of improvement. Inda, 100 kilo, missed it on her second. Looked like it might be strength, but it's hard to tell on the bench press. A small misgroove that we can't see, but she can feel, can make all the difference.
Interestingly, Olga has matched Joy at subtotal now. I mean, we know Joy's got that big deadlift.
Ooh, the brakes come on and return back to her chest.
Yeah, not quite there for Marissa. She's not having the best day, is she? 2 for 6 so far.
One thing I'll give to Inda, she's got a big deadlift. She can cover some ground with it. In terms of deadlifts, I believe she's going to be pulling more than Olga, and it might.
Yeah, Olga's deadlift isn't her best lift.
And that's where we might see a battle for that silver between the 2 former world champions. Now look at the Swedes. Sophia's going to come out with 2.5 more kilo.
And we've got the crowd on their feet.
Vlad Marson. Look at that angle. Stretching the back. Just going to drive those traps into the bar. Push against into the bench, right? Push against the bar to hold herself firm. Dig in the heels.
And this is nearly double body weight.
Insane.
And it's moving. Can she
Whoa!
lock it?
I think so.
And
3 white
that's
lights.
a gold medal for the local girl, Sophia Valdemarson.
Look at the crowd showing their
That's a
appreciation.
popular lift.
And, well, that was the gold medal press for the local lifter. Here's another shot at that.
Yeah,
Blink and you'll miss
Marissa
it.
Inda got the silver medal and Olga Golubeva took the bronze.
So we do have, again, a few more misses. The drama continues. But the entering into the deadlifts, and I've said it time before, but I'll say it time again, A lot of times people say the competition doesn't start until the barbell hits the ground, and we know why.
Absolutely.
A lot of ground can be covered, so do not count anybody out and do not have anybody in your mind as a favorite. We've seen shakeups happen. We will be back in 20 minutes from Six Pack Laughing At.
And Joe Whiteley.
See you then. And welcome back to the 2019 World Classic Powerlifting Championships here live in Helsingborg, Sweden. Six-pack Lapidat.
Joe Whiteley.
And the action is heated up. Walking into the deadlift event, we have 3 lifters, all with the same subtotal.
Yeah, we've got 3 lifters on 240, and the next 2 down are on 232.5. It's really close right across the board.
They're going to be scrapping it out for those medals. We all know Joy has a big deadlift.
Huge.
But there's a caveat with that, the way she pulls.
Yeah, I've seen her miss her first 2 deadlifts before. There's that difficult transition point with the super wide stance. You can just lose your balance. So it's not over yet. But if she does make that opener, she'll take the world record total.
It's a 50-50 proposition. Going all in, either she hits and it's big, she misses, and the drama increases. We're going right back down to the platform here. 125 kilo being loaded for the Australian
And
Shishido.
here we go. So I'd like to see all these ladies hit nice, easy openers.
Yeah, as soon as you hit your first deadlift, your total is guaranteed, and then you can start trying to cover ground, as well as energy management.
And that's very nice.
That's exactly what you want to see with your first pull. 3 white lights, no major effort needed, and her total is assured. 132.5 for Ana Paula Almeida from Brazil.
So this is well below her PB of 145.
And I like the strategy. Let's not gamble. Get your foot in the door. And then you could cover some ground in your second and third pulls.
Takes a little bit of work to break it from the floor. That's characteristic of the sumo deadlift.
Yeah, that's why a lot of the cues for the sumo is patient off the floor.
Yes.
It's going to happen. Don't pull yourself out of position.
I think patience is very important in the deadlift, not to rush it. If you rush it, your knees can slip under the bar. You can be called on supporting. Just stay patient, keep pulling.
140 loaded on the bar for Anna, representing Ireland. She's hit 155 previously. This should be well within her means, not be a major ask. And I hate to...
Oh, it's tough. It's tough. Oh, dear.
You know,
she's lost her balance.
It's weird. I was just about to say, and I'm glad I didn't, because I would have put that on myself as, oh, I jinxed her. Even though that's what you want to see is nice, easy pulls, there's always a couple of lifters, whether it's a technical error or whether they're just a little drained and weakened more than they thought. Hopefully she can bounce back, and that's exactly what we said about the sumo pull. It can be a 50-50 proposition with balance. 152 on the bar for Alexandra.
Of course, some lifters don't train all 3 lifts together, so they're not accustomed to having to do their biggest deadlifts after squatting and benching.
Beautiful opener for Alexandra.
That was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, and from first to second, look, hitting your opener as well, great, you're guaranteed.
Yeah.
But if you need a bit of a spread, and we already went over how close it is at the top, so you're going to have to cover some ground, it's always going to be a 50-50 proposition when you want to pull spread out yourself in the sumo form.
So here's Deckers. She took the gold in squat. It's an unusual setup she's got. A lot of lifters have different rituals just to make sure it's consistent and the same every time. But
3
the
whites.
weight was no trouble, was it?
And you're right, and in terms of consistent rituals, it always alarms me when you have a routine, not just the setup, but beforehand, you have little things that you do, and when you don't do them for a last pull when the weight's heavy, I'm wondering, you know, are you out of your routine? What's going on?
It's like the magic feather, isn't it?
And look at the crowd getting behind Sophia. 150 on the bar for Waldersmerson, and it is 12.5 kilo below her personal best.
And that was some work, but I think she's got a little bit more left.
It was work, although a ramping up of intensity while the weight increases. If she can match the weight with intensity, she can keep the pace going. Vargas Vilma of Ecuador, 160 on the kilo, 160 kilo on the bar for her.
Now, she was 4th last year at Calgary. I think she's going to have to work really hard if she wants to match that placing this year.
Yeah, I would say, based off the projected, if she can hang tight, she just has to be realistic with her attempts, and if somebody starts missing, an opportunity arises to jump onto the platform. Nicely done.
Yeah, that was fun.
And here's another variable to consider. Just based off of the openers, those projecteds can be misleading because some people open much closer to the limit, whereas Vargas just clearly did not. So her jumps from her 1st to 3rd could be very much more drastic.
Absolutely. We can see we're seeing some 5 kilo jumps, some 7.5. We're going to see some 10 kilo jumps too.
People can creep up on you. Olga, representing Russia, 162.5 on the bar.
Huge amount of experience here.
That looked like a big ask.
Well, I'm not sure if the way she shouted made it seem harder than it was.
I don't know if it's a shout so much as a grunt from effort, so it's deceiving.
But just watching it back, I think it actually moved quite well, but her face told a different story.
Well, let's see. We'll have to see.
we'll find out.
This is where the second attempt selection for your team coaches, you really have to know your lifter.
Yeah.
And it looks like she hasn't fully clasped her belt. I don't know if that's on purpose or she's waiting.
Maybe it's part of her setup to do so.
Part of the ritual. You are allowed to clasp your belt on the platform.
Yeah, it's the
no other.
only thing you're allowed to do.
And 165.
She's not.
Amanda.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah.
Good.
Maybe she heard us.
She's very toes out, isn't she?
For a conventional, yep. Engine revs a little for that one as well. Now, what do you think?
Didn't look much like an opener to me. That looked like a second attempt.
It looked like a second. The engine was revving and the knees were knocking, and it was a bit of an ask. Here goes Inda.
Here's Marissa. She's pulled 187 in the past, but I think that was a couple of years ago.
Well, I know based off of her social media following, her deadlift was a very consistent, and there you go.
That was nice, wasn't it? It was a little bit asymmetrical.
Yeah.
Seemed to dip a little bit on one side, but the weight was no trouble.
170 flew, and based off of her training that I saw, of all the lifts, she's probably the most confident in her deadlift, and she could cover some ground where others might slip. Monica Dip of Canada, 172.5. That's a pretty big pull.
She's having a great day.
Yeah.
She could be challenging for, I think she's going to be in the fight for 4th, 5th, 6th.
Look at competing 3 years only, and this is where an individual like Dip can surprise you because you don't see her coming.
Well, there was a little bit of effort at the top.
She also pulls beltless.
She does.
And we'll take another look at this. Oh, a little bit of a picture anyway. So Barbara Gap, 172.5 on the bar for her.
And these are 52 kilo lifters. These are big deadlifts.
Yeah. Conventional setup, wearing the deadlift slippers. Wowzers.
No.
Holy.
She's got it moving. How did she get that moving?
All right, straight willpower. She was definitely pulled out of position.
Wow.
Shoulders rounded forward, back rounded,
let's
all
just see
will
that
and
again.
guts.
Oh, actually, no, I thought she wasn't going to make that.
If you gave me $1 million and said bet which way, I would have said so.
Yeah.
That being the case, and she did get it, she definitely doesn't have a lot of room to grow.
No, absolutely. But here we go. Joy Nimani, with her opener, will take the world total record. I mean, it's her own world total record.
But obviously pacing well when you're breaking the world total record with your opener.
And look how calm she is.
Stoic. They call her the Terminator for a reason.
Yeah.
If you want her to
Now here
look
we go.
nervous.
Now, she doesn't like to deadlift in other people's chalk and talc. She generally moves the bar back to the back of the platform.
And I think that's a good policy.
Yep.
Joy is one of the best deadlifters our sport has.
Absolutely. She has world record deadlift in 2 weight classes. 195.5 in the 52s, 203 in the 57s. Oh, and there's that difficult transition point. I think she's got it.
So based off that.
So, one red light for lockout there. I don't know whether that was knees or shoulders. If we can just watch
Take a look. Shoulders look good. Knees look good.
I'm not quite sure what that was for.
Nonetheless, she gets it. But based off that,
She's going to be hard to catch now, isn't she?
you know, she's already quite a bit ahead. And to add
And we're going to see a world record attempt deadlift next, I think.
30 kilo would be a big ask. I'm thinking the battle's going to be between Olga and Marisa for silver, and potentially someone slipping up there for bronze if they're not careful.
So that's a massive attempt. She's gone in for Joy. 200 kilos. That'll put 4.5 kilos on the world record.
Shishido of Australia, 132.5.
Very nice.
Yeah, very smooth, patient off the floor. And
Once it came off the floor, just snapped to lockout.
And that was a personal record for her.
Wow. Another 5 kilos? At least, I think.
At least absolutely no breakdown in form whatsoever, if that's an indicator of how close she was to the limit. 140 once again. Anna,
she missed this the first time, didn't she? So she lost her balance.
All the hopes of the Irish watching being sent to Anna right now. She hits this. Her total is solidified. She misses no team points for Ireland, and she will not register an official total.
And
whoa, and here we go.
Yes,
Looks
she's got
good.
that.
And just like that, redemption.
So we have the Brazilian lifter out next for 140. She's got up 7.5 kilos.
I think it's an appropriate jump for Anna. 132.5 moved really good, and this will give an indicator for the coaching staff what they want their third to be.
Yeah,
Looks
that was a good lift. Not too much more in the tank, I think.
No, I would think a marginal increase, maybe even 2.5, but maybe I know she's a fighter. Alexandra, 147.5. The Serbian took 142.5 in her opener. She's hit 155, but you also want a little bit of room to grow.
You do. And that was tough from the floor. That's a tough lift.
She's good, but likely not going to take a huge jump onto her
I
third.
don't think so. No, I saw her shaking her head talking to the coach. I don't think she wants to take a big jump. So Deckers, the Dutch lifter. She's been very impressive today.
Yeah,
With
155.
great squat.
7.5 more kilos towards her total. Inching closer to possibly a podium should the opportunity arise.
Knees caved a little bit on the pull, but it moved quickly at the top.
Yeah, it's definitely some work, but there's definitely a little bit of room to grow anyways. I would say 5 kilo shouldn't be a major ask.
And then you might be able to hear from the crowd who's coming out next. The Swedish lifter.
155, 5 kilo jump. Now we did think Sophia's 150 was worked, and we didn't anticipate a big jump. It isn't a big jump for the deadlift. On willpower alone.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's very pleased the referee didn't keep her long at the top there.
3 white lights.
But not much more to give.
You know, if intensity, motivation, adrenaline could do anything for you, I'm thinking 5 more. What do you think?
I think if she uses all that support from the crowd, gets really fired up, I think 5 would be the most.
I had seen a Swedish lifter come out, and they go absolutely bonkers for last pull. I can feel the energy. Olga, 170,
Here's
7.5 kilo
Olga.
jump.
She's currently bronze medal position, but only 2.5 kilos behind silver.
I think it moved better.
I do. I think she sounds like
Nope.
for lockout. So
Let's take a look at the replay. She did get 1 white, so they could go to the jury.
so what are we saying there? Knees or shoulders? I'm not certain. And we are seeing the Russian coach come to the jury for that.
Worth a conversation.
It is, because I couldn't just tell exactly what the issue was. Obviously, we don't have the same view as the referees.
And 170 for Vargas Vilma of Ecuador. 10 kilo jump. And she also, if anybody slips up, could stick onto the podium, staying tight enough.
They are so close, right down the field.
You know, it's realistic. 1 through 7 could easily shake up.
Yeah.
Well, maybe 2 through 7. Nice pull.
Yeah, that was great.
10 more kilo to her total.
I think she could put maybe 7 more on there.
You know, the way she's pulling like that, I think 7.5 to maybe 10.
Yeah.
It depends on if it's the difference between a podium or not.
Yep.
And 170 for Amanda Folks of New Zealand.
And this is where, in a way, it becomes not just about you, but about what the lifter behind you is doing and the lifter in front of you is doing.
Amanda had a bit of a fight with 165 opener. 5 kilos isn't a big jump for deadlift. I think it's around the range of probability. There it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. And she's going to want a bit of redemption. She struggled a bit on squats.
You know what? As the weight increases, her intensity increases with it. And the bar,
I think
although
she could put another 5 on.
it was slow for the opener, and it's probably about the same pace for the second, I'm agreeing. I think 5 kilo would be right on the money. Marisa Inda.
Okay, so Marisa is going to want to pull this and pull away from Olga in third. Olga did not get her red lights overturned, so she's put 170 in again for her third.
This would add 10 more kilo for Inda and convince Olga, defend your bronze and leave my silver alone.
Yeah, I think she's got that.
That looks good to me.
3 white lights. So I think, yeah, I think she's pulled away now.
You know, you got to think, because Olga right now, and again, you can change your last deadlift attempt twice, but as of now, looks like Olga's looking to defend her bronze as opposed to threaten into silver, and 180 for a gap.
You can't bet against Marisa Inda pulling. She's put 190 in for a third. But we have Barbara Gap on the platform at the moment.
That's a heck of a pull. Lots of effort
Isn't
and
it?
guts. 3 whites. The weight definitely pulls her out of position. You can see the difference between perhaps Gap's technique and Inda, who's a master of it. But in terms of heart and horsepower, plenty. Monica Ditt,
And that's put her in the
182.5.
bronze medal position. Monica is now pulling for provisional bronze. This is what, 3.5 times body weight?
Yeah, we're talking
it's tough.
that
Oh,
grip. Oh my gosh. In her fingertips and
she
got the
pulled
down
it, but
command.
yes, she got blue cards. I thought so. It kind of, her knees slipped under the bar, her knees were soft, and the bar just rested on her thighs just for a moment.
It was a little untidy, but the strength is there, and for her to hold 400 pounds in her fingertips that long, if she can make some adjustments.
But here we have Joy, 200 kilos. She's not looking to chip the world record. That's not good enough for Joy.
No.
She's going to put 4.5 kilos on it.
She's looking to smash it, and here is one of the best deadlifters alive.
And we see our coach Paul Marsh there, just taking the lollipop and the book and the fan.
Mind if I hold this for you?
So this is a world deadlift record, a world total record.
The Terminator about to execute.
Come on, Joy. The setup routine is absolutely identical every single time. Here we go. It's going. Can she? Oh, do you know?
I don't know if
She tipped forward a little.
did the bar go up down or just her body?
Oh, the referee saw the bar dip just a little bit, and I'm sad to say I do think it did. But you know what? I think she can do it next time.
Yeah. Well, the strength is 100% there, and we had mentioned earlier that's kind of the dicey proposition that Joy faces with the way her feet are pointed outwards. Balance at the top is an issue.
It
Strength
really is.
never is. And 137.5 for Shishido of Australia.
Okay, we are back round to our third set of deadlifts, and this is a 5 kilo increase.
7.5 personal best. In uncharted territory, we'd like to go 3 for 3.
It's moving.
Look.
And it's locked.
That's a beautiful deadlift. It looks the same as their second and her first.
Very nice indeed.
Patient off the floor, right past the knees to lock out.
Big hug for the coach.
And 145 loaded on the bar. Now, Anna had missed 140 in her opener, hit it in the second, and looking to increase upon that by 5 kilo.
Here she comes. You can hear the Irish team in the crowd.
Moving the bar away. There's a baby powder on the legs.
And it's a real issue when you've got a mixture of conventional and sumo pullers.
Just sticks
That's
too
a
much
shame,
for
just a
today.
bit too heavy. Because the tilt on the legs for the different style of lifting gets wiped on the bar in different places.
Yep. Yeah, it's the last thing you want is any kind of baby powder on your grip. You put baby powder on your legs so the bar it smoothly goes up. But
And
if
you
you put baby powder
Definitely
on
want
your
the chalk on your thighs.
yeah, exactly. So Ana Paula Almeida from Brazil, 147.5. Looking to go.
With a big smile as she comes out.
Look at, she wants to go 3 for 3. She wants a personal best.
You think she's bringing enough intensity there?
She'll ramp it up. It will not be from a lack of effort. And there it is. Look at it, buried the teeth.
Not quite.
Pulled a little out of position. And
That's a shame. Just a little bit more would have gone.
yeah, you get another shot here. And on the left, her left side, pulled out of position, and it just was out of alignment. Alexandra, 150 on the bar, 2.5 kilo increase. 147 was work,
Still below her PB.
but on any given day, you never know where that's going to be.
That's true.
The 29-year-old Serbian looking to go 3 for 3. Nope, a little too much. Finished the day with 367.5. And 160 being loaded on the bar for Deckers from the Netherlands. This will be a personal best. 153 previously was her personal best. We are way beyond that at this point. It'll also shift her, if temporarily, from 7th to 6th, which is team points for the Netherlands.
Here she comes.
All types
Strong
of strength.
pull.
Looks good to me, and the judges agree.
Fantastic.
3 white lights, and there's Sophia. You hear the crowd just starting. They recognize, they see her in the wings, in 162.5 being loaded. 7.5 kilo jump for Sophia. I thought a 5 kilo jump. You thought a 5 kilo jump.
Yeah, but this will give her a bronze medal overall.
She's
It's
pulling for
worth it.
bronze.
It's worth it.
Can the energy from the crowd launch her onto the podium? Do you believe?
It's a big ask.
Whoa, it's
And
breaking.
moving.
Oh,
She's got
my
it moving.
gosh.
I can't believe it.
Oh.
What a shame.
And
Do you know, such heart in that pull?
it's, you know, the Swedish team absolutely was right to load the bar for that.
Yeah.
Whenever you got a chance for a podium, load it up, especially with the crowd behind you like that. And
Well, she's in 4th place at the moment. It depends on what everyone else does at this point.
the failure rate with third attempts is always high, and it's continuing to be the case today. You never know. Olga failed 170 in her second and wants to take it now in her third. She'll go maintaining in the bronze medal position, but
yeah, she's
convincing
chosen
others.
not to try for the silver, and I think silver's a little bit out of reach for her.
I'm going to have to agree.
She should get this. Shoulders back, lock it. Has she got it this time?
Looks good to me this time. Three white lights.
Fantastic, 3 white lights.
And it's funny, no expression on her face at all. You're in a bronze medal position.
So she didn't get any medals in any of the lifts, did she?
No.
Oh, I think she got a bench. I think she got a bench bronze. But overall, she's kept putting the numbers in, putting the lifts in, and I think she's going to keep her bronze medal overall.
Amanda.
Depends on the Canadian lifter.
Yeah.
But okay, we got Amanda Folks out for New Zealand.
Amanda Folks, 175. This would put her 4th deadlift overall, jumping from 6th. She doesn't have an official total, but you know she'd love to go 3 for 3 in the deads.
And a PB on the international stage is a real achievement.
Yeah, 4.5 kilo PB, no less. Oh, the knees are knocking. Can she get past them?
She's
Oh!
moved. She's kept
All
it moving.
types of heart.
I've
Wow.
never seen such a fight.
You want to talk about guts. You want to talk about heart. There it
That's
is.
heartbreaking.
It's almost a moral victory there when you let it all
think
hang
it is.
out.
That was such a fight through. I thought it
Look
stuck her
at
to
that.
knees and she kept it moving.
The engine is revving. I didn't see it down up or ramping, but it wasn't going to affect the total regardless.
No.
177.5 for Vargas Vilma.
So she was 4th last year. This will move her up to 4th this year so far. It's moving. I don't think she's going to lock that.
$182.5 for Monica Dip of
Now
Canada.
this is exciting. This will move her up to silver medal in deadlift and up to 4th place overall.
So from 7th to 4th, which is just a bundle of points for Team Canada. And then for her worries, here's a little trinket, a silver medal in the deadlifts with IPF on it.
Can you imagine that in your first international?
It's a nice souvenir. It's a nice souvenir.
So we're just waiting for the bar to be cleaned, as it must be between every lift in the 3rd round. And here comes Monica. She missed this by a very tight margin last time.
Yeah, it was just hanging in her fingertips. Almost had it. Just needs to grab that grip a little tighter this time.
It's going. Can
It's
she
better.
be patient? I think she's got it.
I think this time looks quite a bit tight here. 3
She's
white
got it.
lights. And there you go. Moved herself into a silver medal position for the deadlifts.
And 4th overall at the moment.
Marisa Inda.
Oh, no, we've had a change. It's Barbara Gap.
185 for Barbara Grapp. Now, Barbara is eyeing that silver medal that Dip just took in the deadlifts and said, hey, you know what? It looks nice. Don't just pack it in your bag just yet.
Yeah, so she dropped her attempt to try and take the silver medal. We're we've seen a real spread of lifters in the individual medals in this group.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. That down command couldn't have come sooner.
Yeah. 2 to 1, she's got it. You know,
Huge
you
pull.
use so much energy when you're screaming your own lift up.
You don't want to lose tension in the body, but she got to the top, and not a moment sooner could that down command come. And there you go. Dip now in the bronze medal position for deadlifts. Now here comes Inda. 10-kilo jump off of 180.
This is an M1 world record.
Master 1 world record attempt.
I think it's her own world record.
Whoa, the engine's revving. A little too much.
Just
too much
not
today.
quite. But you know, she's silver medal overall.
I don't think too many people would scoff at that. Now, how about a way to end the show? Joy Namani says, all right, I got the world title in hand. It's not at risk. I missed 200, but I want to put a show on for the crowd. Load up 206 for a world record and a chance for history.
206 kilos for a lady that's weighed in at 51.45 today. She's pulling with no belt.
It's a deadlift world record. It's a total world record. And it's a world championship. Joy is having a historic day today.
I wonder what the significance of the number is. Maybe it's to try and hit the best lifter again. She was best lifter last year.
I tell you what, it's early goings in the Worlds. Obviously, it's the first day of the Open. But if she hits this, she is a massive candidate for best lifter.
So she's chosen to push the bar to the front of the platform now, avoiding whatever chalk and talc might be there.
52-kilo champion. Is she the champion of champions? This could help.
Come on, Joy, it's moving. Oh, just too heavy. And look, she's not upset. She's world champion. She's got a chest full of medals.
It's hard to be upset when you're walking away as the world champion, especially in a field as deep as that was. Marisa Inda has won world titles. Olga has won world titles.
And she is 20 kilos ahead of the nearest rival. To be 20 kilos ahead of a lifter the caliber of Marisa Inda is just incredible.
It's an incredible achievement, and even though she missed that last deadlift, Joy still has to be in contention to become the champion of champions.
She does. And do you think because she'd already won, she didn't have the fire because she didn't need it?
You know what? I'm sure when your back is to the wall, the fire turns up. And if the opposition was here on the day, but the way it's laid out, and she's on day one, she doesn't know what she needs to load the bar as a random number. But a hell of a performance, and historic, no doubt. Don't go anywhere. We do have the medal ceremony coming up. I just want to give a shout out to Alico, Uplift, and SPD with this beautiful production we have. It wouldn't be possible without their help from Six Pack Lapidat
and Joe Whiteley.
See you later.
And